Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of Weird Products, a series where I take a look at weird Disney Pixar Cars products and then proceed to relentlessly roast them until I've had my fix. Today we're going to be talking about weird products revolving around the delinquent road hazards, the tuner cars, DJ, Boost, Wingo, and Snot, who are quite popular characters in the Cars series, always showing up in merchandise and media. There have been quite a few tuner products made over the years, definitely not as many as other characters, but you'd be surprised with how many weird, obscure Cars toy lines feature merchandise for at least one of the four of these guys. DJ and Snot are definitely the most popular when it comes to merchandise, but Boost and Wingo still have their fair share too. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Do we really have to start with one this cursed? Alright. Vinylmations were a line of vinyl figures produced by Disney in the 2010s, where they would put the details of a character onto the body of a vinyl figure of Mickey Mouse, to varying degrees of success. A lot of these looked pretty terrible, if I'm going to be honest. For some reason, it was seen as a smart idea to make some Cars Vinylmations. A few were made, one of which was DJ, released as part of a Vinylmation series focused around Disney California Adventure, representing Cars Land, or more specifically, representing the DJ's Dance and Drive show that played in Cars Land for several years. Honestly, I'd say that DJ doesn't look all that bad as far as Cars Vinylmations go. I think he honestly turned out pretty alright, mainly because his shape translated really well to the shape of Mickey Mouse's head. If he didn't have a body here, it would have made for a pretty nice looking figurine of DJ in sort of a stylized Mickey Mouse, Hidden Mickey art style. And then they gave him a body. And I'd say what they did with the body was kind of clever. You could see the volume bars on his chest. In fact, they do translate DJ's details in a pretty unique and clever way. I like how the zigzags on his spoiler are on the ears of the Mickey. I like how the dial to change the radio station is on the back of his head. There are some stereos on his back as well, which look very poorly drawn. But at the end of the day, for what they were going for, I'd say this wasn't all that bad. The concept, however, for a toy line based around plastering other people's faces onto Mickey Mouse, that's a bad idea, but DJ is an okay looking one. Once you get past how strange the concept is, and just how weird it is in general, it's not all that bad. For what they were going for, I think it's pretty alright. Aw man, here come the tuners! DJ, Wingo, and Lightning McQueen. What? I remember for whatever reason, in 2010, the tuners ended up appearing on like nearly every piece of Cars merchandise I saw. For whatever reason, they just started really heavily marketing them, because, you know, they're so cool and they drift. A lot of products regarding the tuners around this time were obsessed with the fact that they drift, and drifting is so cool. It's funny to me because it's like all of a sudden there was just so much miscellaneous tuner merchandise, and wow, look, it's because the tuners are just so cool and popular, and they're the bad boys. So why do good girls like bad guys? They were on a lot of merchandise made for kids, like backpacks and lunchboxes and stuff like that, featuring cool artwork of the tuners drifting, usually with McQueen because he's also a popular character. Ironic because McQueen never actually interacts with the tuners on screen in the first Cars movie. And all this merchandise shows him racing with them like they're best friends. And I mean, I know he raced against them in the video games, but like, that's kind of weird. Also weird is that barely any of this merchandise features all four of the tuners. Usually it's just 2 or 3 and McQueen, like, again, this backpack with DJ, McQueen, and Wingo. Hey, wait a minute. Huh. Drift mode! Whoa, look at him go! Lightning and Wingo and Boost and Snot, these are like the exact same images used on the last backpack, but now they're in drift mode! Drift Crew! They were in drift mode, now they're the Drift Crew! Why is McQueen here? It makes no sense, but here he is! Whoa, he's racing with Boost! Whoa! The cool thing about this backpack is that it actually features all 4 of the tuners, which is nice. And McQueen. Because why not? Because they're a drift crew! Speaking like that is starting to hurt my throat. Let's move away from the backpacks. You may have heard of the Riplash racers from the mid-2010s, but you probably haven't heard of the Ripstick racers, a very obscure line of Cars toys released in 2006 and 2007, which featured a car in a pretty interesting scale, quite a bit larger than a regular diecast, but I think a bit smaller than, like, one of the Shake and Goes. You would put a ripcord in the back of the car, pull it, and then the car would move. It seems only 7 of these were made. Lightning McQueen, who's definitely seen better days, geez, what is with his expression, Radiator Springs McQueen, Sheriff, Mater, and the final 3 were Boost, Wingo, and Snot Rod. This is just a super obscure Cars toy line, and I think it's so interesting to see that even in this toy line that was released like right after the movie and barely has any cars in it, the tuners had a lot of focus. Again, they were 3 of the 7 releases. Yeah, it's really odd that DJ's missing. He's easily the most merchandise of the tuners alongside Snot Rod. Kinda strange he wasn't there, but this just shows you that even at the very beginning, the tuners were getting a lot of focus in toys. This is the Rolling Slumber on the Go Sleep Kit, released all the way back in 2007, which may very well be the single most obscure thing I've ever featured here on Weird Products. The only information I could find on it is from a third-party Amazon listing that is no longer available. But it includes several sleep-themed items, like a pillow, blanket, a push light, and of course the roller bag itself. The push light features Lightning and Snot Rod on it, while the pillow features Lightning and DJ on it. Meanwhile, the blanket features Lightning and Doc on it, so it's not relevant to this video. The pillow says Lightning McQueen versus DJ racing, and once again we have Lightning interacting with DJ, something that is not in the movie. It's just so odd. They just kept on putting the tuners on merchandise with McQueen because they're both popular. I don't know what the push light with McQueen and Snot Rod on it says. I'd assume it says like Lightning McQueen versus Snot Rod or something like that. I have no clue, and I could not find any other images of this online. But once again, Lightning and the tuners hanging out like they're best friends. To wrap up this video, let's talk about the Cars Funny Talkers, a strange line from 2014, which featured versions of Lightning, Mater, and of all characters, Snot Rod. When you lift up these cars, their mouths open, and they start to make a sound. They will continue to make this sound until you put them back down again, or until the noise just stops. And these noises last for a very long time and have some very interesting results. Like, for example, McQueen saying ka-chow for like 10 seconds. Or Mater, unleashing the demon burrowed deep within his soul. Snot Rod was probably the most normal of these 3, as he didn't actually speak any dialogue. He just sneezed and made engine noises, and the longer you held him open, the longer the sneeze was, or the longer the engine revving noises were. So yeah, no demons inside a Snot Rod. Also, you guys remember BluCollection? Man, I miss BluCollection. These toys were reintroduced for Cars 3, but the whole making a long noise thing was removed. Instead, they just said generic movie quotes. Something that the Funny Talker's Luis Nash was clearly very upset over. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Weird Cars Products Tuners Edition. And tune in next time where we talk all about Weird Cars backpacks. No, I'm not kidding. Okay, looking at the tuner backpacks in this video made me really interested in the weird world of Cars backpacks and all of the ridiculous character combinations and phrases on them. I'm very excited for the next episode on backpacks. Anyway guys, once again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to those of you on my Discord server who sent me some of the weird products featured in this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.